Alright, hello everyone. This is Emperor Haterius, and I am playing Pathfinder Kingmaker Definitive Edition on the PlayStation 4. We are resuming our game, having just unlocked our first hub area in Oleg's trading post.
We do it my way.
And I had just created 2 custom party members to add to my party. And I came up with 2 new party member ideas, which I want to do before I get sorted out. You will not be seeing me use them, most likely, for some time. Unless I need to level them up. But I wanted to go ahead and get them created, because right now is the cheapest time I can do so, because at level 1 you only pay 500 gold for party members, and the price to create custom mercs or mercenaries from the Pathfinder Society that you use to make your party members goes up each level. And again, it's 500 gold pieces, as you can see. So I have 2 ideas for characters. Mainly they're based on the images I've got in front of me here. So let's go over what my party is so far. I have Emperor Haterius, the main character. I am at the moment, a kineticist that shoots electricity blasts. I plan on going into multi-classing quite a bit, into different classes where I can use a sword in one hand and cast in the other. I have Valerie, who I'm going to keep in my party. She's a tower shield specialist fighter, and she is the most defensive fighter you can have as a build. She's going to be my tank. And then I have Lindsay the Bard, who is going to be using ranged weapons, namely bows, when I get her spec'd into that. But she's our support caster. She's our I guess I'd say trickster, because she uses her trickery to open up our locks and stuff like that. She's our roguish character that we need to open stuff. And we are going to be, let's see, that's Valerie, Lindsay. I made another party member. Oh, sorry, Amiri the Barbarian's with us. She's going to be in the party. So she's going to be our heavy-handed Barbarian raging 2-hand user. So that's 3 NPCs right there. It's a 4-party system at the moment. I made 2 characters. I made Pandemona, which is my usual go-to side chick character that I have as my second persona in most games. You'll see her more in my Fallout videos overall. She is going to be a 2-handed polearm user. And she's going to be speccing into a little bit of spellcasting, namely my what is the term? I want to do like fire stuff with her. So she's an Emberkin SMR. So that's another 2-handed user. She's going to be my second like swinging around in battle character. And I made finally a 6th party member. I made an Aasimar Angelkin based on this portrait here. I really like her portrait, so I made her into a cleric because we need a dedicated healer. She is my dedicated healer, but again, I want to reiterate, at level 1, this is the cheapest you can make other characters. And I'm going to need other characters for my kingdom later, so I want to go ahead and get them bought for the cheapest they can be. So I'm going to make 2 characters. I think I can afford 2 more characters. One is going to be, I believe, an Inquisitor, and the other one's going to be a Paladin. Let's start with the Paladin. He's actually going to be a dwarf, and I want to use this guy's image here because he's awesome. He is going to be my Paladin. He's going to be a Paladin of Torag. So, dwarf, male. And he has to be lawful good to be a Paladin. So he's going to be a lawful good paladin. What type of paladin, though? That's the question. Okay, that's a ranged paladin. We don't want to do that. We want him to be a hammer and shield user. Hospitaller. Ooh. That's another character I'll make later. Let me write that down. Hospitaller. I have a D&D character that I specifically made to his ambitions were to form an order of knights that are essentially the hospitallers of our world. And that just reminded me he's a character I'd like to have later. Divine Guardian. Divine Guardian devotes themselves to the protection and guardianship of one creature at a time, be that the liege lord, an allied cleric, or innocent facing overwhelming danger at the hands of evil. Divine Guardian devotes themselves to the concerns of the material world, eschewing some divine studies. They do not gain access to divine spellcasting. Oh, okay, so it's like a protection fighter in a paladin form. With smiting. Do I want a paladin that does not have spellcasting? That's the question. Paladins serve as beacons for their allies within the chaos of battle. While deadly opponents of evil, they can also empower goodly souls to aid in their crusades. Their magic and martial skills also make them well suited to defending others and blessing the fallen with the strength to continue fighting. Let's look at the class progression tree. I forgot I could do that. So let's compare a normal paladin with the Divine Guardian. So the normal paladin gets all armor and shields except for tower shields as proficiencies. They have Smite Evil as the starting ability. What do they get at level 2? That's the other thing I should comment on. If you multi-class, you cannot pick the same... I should say, when you pick a class, an archetype, and you level up further, you cannot pick a different archetype for the same class. So, once you pick a paladin, for example, you can't pick Divine Guardian later, at least in this game. Because it's your specialization of that archetype in the class. So if I was a barbarian, on a future note, if I was a barbarian, there's another barbarian type that I just found out about not that long ago, which is called an armored barbarian. A normal barbarian doesn't usually wear more than light armor because they have bonuses and like that's just the way they are. An armored barbarian, which is an archetype on this game, in this game system, you can wear heavy armors, or up to heavy armors, I believe, and still get your benefits and stuff like that. But if I leveled up into barbarian again, say I pick a normal barbarian and I level up into barbarian again, I cannot pick that archetype of armored barbarian. But that's another scenario entirely there, because you can actually take feats to give yourself proficiency, which it wouldn't work out that well for a normal barbarian, unfortunately. Anyway, back to the paladin. Divine Grace, bonus equal to the charisma bonus on all saving throws. Oh yeah, paladins are charisma based. They're not wisdom like clerics. They have the Lay on Hands ability, which is a special ability where they can heal wounds on themselves or others by touch. which is not a spellcasting thing, it's just an ability. They are immune to all diseases, including supernatural and magic diseases, including mummy rot. Oh, that's bad. Mummy rot's terrible. And they have an aura. Okay, so there's a lot of good stuff with the normal paladin. Let's do a quick look at the Divine Guardian. Smite evil, yet again. Guarding hands. Like, paladin can heal wounds. Okay, so is that their lay on hands? Divine Troth. Once per day, the Divine Guardian pledges their protection to a willing creature for the day. Does that do anything? Or maybe it's just it syncs them up for the protection of their class. They also get all the armor and shield proficiency too. Courageous defense. Divine Guardian can intercept attacks directed at the target of the Divine Troth. Okay, so this is literally a bodyguard type class. So if you did want to protect your healer, say June or Jeun, the woman I created for my cleric, I had a paladin in the party. He could protect her while she's healing the party, because that's his job. Okay. Every 3 levels, a paladin can select 1 mercy. Each mercy adds an effect to the paladin's lay on hands ability. Okay, so you can buff your lay on hands. That's cool. They can also channel positive energy, which is healing. So he'd be an off healer. Divine Weapon Bond. Paladin forms a divine bond with their weapon. As a standard action, they can call upon the aid of a celestial spirit for 1 minute per paladin level. Huh. There's more aura stuff. More divine weapon bonding. Mark of Justice. Okay, so from what I'm gathering, he's essentially a bodyguard. What's the major difference here, though? As soon as I can find my cursor. There it is. They don't get the troth. They don't get the troth ability. I want to say I'm doing this back and forth, sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 columns in that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns in that one. What am I missing? Oh, the Divine Guardian thing. Okay. So the Divine Guardian has bonus feats. But he also doesn't have spellcasting. So he loses spellcasting entirely to be more melee focused. Do I want a down-to-earth dwarf with no casting? Because I wish I could look at the spellcasting tree for what he'll learn or has the potential of learning in the game without having to look it up online. I'll probably just do normal Paladin until I choose otherwise later. So that was a bit of time I took up. So this guy has black hair and a really long beard. Honestly, it's more of a gray beard. I guess it'd be the lighting. He has multiple ringed beard. I guess we're gonna go with that one. That one's pretty cool. A lot less options than I thought there'd be for a dwarf. Okay, so hairstyle 2. He has green on him. I see a common color scheme with most of my followers so far. Most of my characters is green and red, although I did not intend it for this guy. I was basing it on the reference image. Okay, so wow, he has 3 class. He has 3 class things. He's gonna be melee, so he needs to have good melee. Dexterity's not gonna really help him. I guess I'll just put it in a wisdom. Or... yeah. I think that'll work. I don't want him having negatives with his dexterity checks. He's just not going to have good dexterity. Okay. Athletics. Oh, he only has 1 point. Oh yeah, because he has a negative int. Huh. Let's put it in persuasion then. He's charismatic, might as well give him that bonus. Dwarves are charismatic. I like the idea of charismatic dwarves. Okay, so we have a paladin. He has proficiency in all armors. I want him to be melee base. Obviously with his casting. Give him lightning reflexes when he has a 0 in dexterity. Shield focus. Increase the AC granted by any shield you're using by 1. That'd be a good one. Oh, I can get a dwarf feat. Steel Soul. You are especially resistant to magic. You gain a +4 racial bonus on saving throws against spells and spell-like abilities. This replaces the normal bonus from the dwarf's hardy racial trait. Normally, dwarves receive a +2 racial bonus on saving throws against spells and spell-like abilities. I like that. I'm going to take that feat. So a +4 racial bonus on saving throws against spells and spell-like abilities. Awesome. And he's going to be of Torag, also known as the Father of Creation, a stoic and serious dwarven god of the forge, protection, and strategy, who values honor, planning, and well-made steel. He's an often distant deity, lending magical power to his clerics, but leaving his followers to make their own way through life, knowing that this will make them strong and determined. Torag. And you have to be lawful good to be a paladin.
All this waiting bores me.
Okay, I think the voices are glitched out.
My wounds pile on.
I think the voices are glitched out because it's only playing mine.
Superior!
I guess brave. I don't know. And this is going to be Harbeck Holderheck. Harbeck Holderheck, Paladin of Torag. Okay, that's one of the 2 characters I wanted to make.
I lead, you follow.
Let us, I guess, do a quick save. Let's make one more character. This is going to be a human. I don't have a lot of good human martial characters, picture-wise. I guess this guy will do. I was thinking about using him. I like this guy instead. I believe he's the default human. He's the default human look. And he's going to be an inquisitor. And I'm going to make him a tactical leader. Rather than pursuing their holy missions alone, some inquisitors see the inherent value of working with like-minded allies to accomplish mutual goals. So he's going to be a tactical leader. Alright, tactical leader. Can't really see his face. I guess that one will do. Can't really see his hair. Let's change the class real quick. Okay. It's cool that your color... It's cool that your color changes the hat as well. Alright, he's going to be an Inquisitor of Abadar, of Civilization. Abadar is the god of cities, laws, merchants, and wealth. So Abadar is going to be the deity of choice. He's going to be using the law domain. which gives Touch of Law. You touch a willing creature as a standard action, infusing it with the power of divine order and allowing it to treat all attack rolls, skill checks, ability checks, and saving throws for 1 round as if the natural d20 roll resulted in 11. Use this a number of times per day equal to 3 plus your wisdom modifier. Staff of Order. At 8th level, you can give a weapon you touch the axiomatic special weapon quality for a number of rounds equal to 1/2 your level in the class that gave you access to this domain. You can use this ability once per day at 8th level and an additional time per day every 4 levels beyond 8th. Domain spells. Protection from Chaos. Protection from Chaos. Why did they list that twice? Oh, communal version of it. Prayer. Protection from Energy. Dominate Person. Blade Barrier. Diadem. Shield of Law. Dominate Monster. Okay. So, with this Humi, we are going to go a melee build with this guy. So he's at 18, 14, 14, 7, 14. I'll actually make that. Well, I can't raise that one up. Okay. It's because he got his +2 to strength from the racial bonus that you can pick, and I just left it on strength. But he's going to be melee. Actually, I think I'll go with this instead. I was using kind of a build I got off of another video that I saw. But I do like the idea of him not having a negative in charisma because of what I want this character to be. I'm basing this character on, like, the idea for this character is that he's going to be a centurion. So let's give him Knowledge World, Mobility, Athletics, and give him a Persuasion. And he gets 2 feats. And a lot of this is just going to be mainly for flavor because I don't really intend to have him in my party other than to level him up at this moment. Because he's not a character that's not going to be talking. Well, let's give him I'm going to give him intimidating prowess, which he gets to add his strength modifier to persuasion. And again, this is not really going to help me much, but it's more for flavor for the character. And it might be somewhat like a character I played later on. So he has intimidating prowess. And he has Iron Will. I'm going to give him Iron Will so he gets +2 on will saving throws. And he also gets spells because he is a divine caster. I'm going to give him Remove Fear because he's supposed to be a Centurion. And I'm going to give him Bane. Bane fills your enemies with fear and doubt. Alright, and he is going to be a lawful neutral character.
Forwards!
There we go. They're
You're
actually
done for. Let us be off. I won't give up. Adventures await.
okay. So it's glitched out where it's only playing the voices of my characters that I have.
We cannot be defeated.
Spell's not working
Yeah,
like that.
Emperor, and
This
then
is my path.
I didn't want Harbeck to have that voice, but I guess he has it now.
Let's
hear you cry.
I guess Pragmatic would be a Centurion. What is his name going to be? Here is a callback to a really old nickname that I gave somebody, Manius Antonius. Let's go with Gosrin 30. I don't know. Alright, so this is going to be a melee Inquisitor. Lawful neutral. Inquisitor of Abadar. 18, 12, 14, 7, 14, 12. Alright, and again, this is a character that's mainly going to be in the background. I might use him as an advisor later, but I just wanted to have the option of this character being in the background if I needed him. A tactical leader Inquisitor, which I thought was really cool, like flavoring him as a Centurion. So that's our last character we're gonna make today. And my color scheme is messed up. Why is my hair different?
We do it my
Like my hair is turned brown. What is up with that? There's all sorts of stuff going on with this game. I don't know why. Okay, now it's back to what it should be.
all this waiting.
But why is it that color in here? Let's save. We are going to talk to the party members around Oleg's trading post.
No one stands in my way.
We've already spoken with
I won't be
Svetlana.
halted.
We've spoken with Honorial. Let's speak with Lindsay. A halfling girl with tousled hair wearing a dusty traveler's outfit sits chewing the tip of her quill. Just a moment. How should I put this? Oh, I know. She scribbles something quickly in a notebook, scrawled with verse, raises her eyes, and gives you a bright smile. Oh, hi. Tell me about yourself. What do you want to know? Where are you from? I'm from all over, haha. I was actually born in Galt, in such a tiny village that it's not even on the maps. If it weren't for my teacher, I'd still be living there, milking goats, weeding turnips, swilling homebrew, having babies, and using books only as kindling. Who was your teacher? He's a true saint. He was once an important person in the capital, at the Church of Shaylin. But he got in trouble with the authorities and went on a self-imposed exile, to the tiniest, most god-forsaken, priestless village he could find. The one where I was born. He wanted to open a school, but the villagers wouldn't let him. You can heal us all you like, but no putting any ideas into our children's heads. It'll only distract them from their work. But he did teach me on the sly. He taught me how to read, how to write, and he gave me books. Poems, legends. He was the one who told me about the Archknights of Avestan. And when I told him I was going on a journey, he gave me a magic ring so that Shaylin would protect me from harm. I haven't seen him since I ran away from home. I hope he's alright. I ask Shaylin every day to grant him a long life, and new students. Archknights of Avestan? Who are they? Oh, you haven't heard of them? How can you be a hero without knowing one of the most epic stories in the history of stories? No, I won't spoil anything. You should just read about them yourself, every single chapter. Their adventures are what gave me the idea of going on a heroic quest and writing about it to begin with. And now, look at me. Here I am, on a heroic quest. How did you become a bard? When I realized there was nothing for me at home besides more radish patches, I decided to run away. A traveling book peddler, Tessie the Quill, happened across our village. Well, I stuck to her like a burr and wouldn't let go until she agreed to take me as an apprentice. Together we traveled everywhere, to Brevoy and Taldor and even Ustalav. And then I found out about the Academy of Grand Arts in Pitax. And I thought, well, I love reading stories, so I can surely learn to write them too. I enrolled on my first try, and they even gave me a scholarship. Then they expelled me. But that's okay. They'd already taught me all the important stuff. And now, with Shaylin's help, I can manage on my own. Do you worship Shaylin? Yes. Not to offend the other gods, but she's the most important of them all. All the other gods guard the world as it is, but only the eternal Rose, the goddess of beauty, calls us to the world as it should be. Why are your clothes so messy? Lindsay waves her hand carelessly. Forget it. I can't waste money on looks. I'd rather buy books instead. In 100 years, when people are reading my works, they aren't going to ask whether the author had holes in her sleeves. Let me ask you about something else. Of course, please ask. I'd be happy to chat all day. You come from Pitax, right? Tell me about it. Oh, I love Pitax, even though they kicked me out. A joyful place. What is life in Pitax like? Actually, Pitax has always been one huge nest of thieves. Bandits, river pirates, smugglers, fences, card sharps. It's always been home for the likes of them. But that was before Iravetti became king. With him, a whole different life began there. Iravetti always wanted to make history, but not as another bandit with a crown. Though that's exactly what he is. He wanted to be glorified through the centuries as a great patron of the arts, so he built the Academy of Grand Arts and spent lots of gold to assemble the best artists, poets, and musicians. Of course, the very best ones refused to go, but he got what he wanted in a way. If Pitax was once just a booze barn for thieves, now it's a cabaret. What do you know of King Iravetti? He won his crown in a game of cards, which says as much about Pitax as it does about him. He's fiendishly clever. Some cheats I know told me that from the moment he appeared, he started pulling off such schemes that the old city masters just scratched their heads. With him in charge, gold flooded into Pitax, and also, he's incredibly, unimaginably, fantastically decadent and conceited. Getting drunk with whores at the pub, that's not Lord Iravetti's style, oh no. He aims higher. Dressing up like a male Calistria with a golden codpiece and holding a 3-week orgy with dancing on the rooftops, parades, public executions, and a contest for the best ode to the great unrivaled king, that's more like it. He also likes singing. Ugh. And he orders his guards to make the citizens gather for his shows. May Shaylin have mercy on his listeners. Tell me about the academy you studied at. You know, jokes aside, I'm thankful to Iravetti for building it, but he has no taste at all, whatsoever. He likes his art loud, bright, grandiose, and most importantly, glorifying His Royal Highness. He kicked out the best charcoal artists because he didn't wish to spend any money on gray scribbles. He sacked a masterful flute player from Tiazia for playing too quietly, and instead ordered them to open a kettle drum class. He even ordered the academy to expel me. And for what? An innocent limerick. Would you like to go back to the academy and finish your studies? I'd like to return, but on one condition. If they threw out 3/4 of the professors who teach there now and returned all the ones they banished. If you ask me, I'm proud to have been expelled. If my art was to Iravetti's liking, then I would have reason to be shamed. As long as mediocre lickspittles sit at the academy, and those with real talent beg on the streets of Pytax, I will not cross the threshold of that place. Let me ask you about something else. Of course, please ask. I'd be happy to chat all day. Tell me about the book you're writing. What is there to tell? You've seen some of my rough drafts already, haven't you? It's a book about you and your adventures. I am writing the whole truth, just as it happened. Well, the whole artistic truth. You know, no glory, no story. Let's see, a lot of options here. So what kind of a character am I? It's not easy to write about you. You are not like a normal hero from a book. Sometimes I even think you're a real villain. But it's not my place to judge you. That's for the readers. My task is to write the truth about you. The whole truth. You have an iron core. No matter what tricks fate throws in your path, you always know what's right and what's wrong. Some might say that's boring, but others will learn from you, from your strong character. How do you feel about me reading your work in progress? Well, these are only drafts, but of course, you're welcome to read them. Just keep in mind that even if you don't like what I write about, I won't change a single letter, so don't even ask. Of course, it's a book about you, but it's my book. Understood? The small writer's eyes glow rebelliously. Oh, and this is an actual check here. Let's see. I'm going to go the lawful good route. As long as you write the truth, I have no objection. I swear. Lindsay puts her little hand over her heart. Truth. Only truth. And just a teensy bit of imaginative exaggeration. Alright. I'm not going to ask these because it seems to... It might upset her. Let's ask you about something else. Tell me about your friendship with Tessie the Quill. What's there to say? The books woke my urge to travel, but it was only thanks to Tessie that I managed to really get out of my village. At first Tessie tried in vain to get rid of me, but later, when I told her I was staying in Pytax, she even shed a tear. I wonder where she is now. What's the deal with the ring you always wear on your finger? Ah, this. Lindsay holds her arm for you to get a clear view of the ring. It was a gift to me from my first teacher. It's magical. Imbued by the powers of Shaylin, no less. When I get myself in trouble, it transports me to a safe spot. So... please don't be angry with me if I suddenly disappear from a fight. I'll wait for you here. I promise. Okay, and then I can tell her to leave and be a meanie. Okay, that's all she has to say. Just don't leave without me. Of course, I could just write whatever you tell me, but if I wanted to stay cooped up in a dusty room, I'd be sleeping through lectures at the academy. I honestly think she's one of my favorite... I think she's one of my favorite NPCs and characters to have in the party. Just, I really like her character. Let's do another quick save. And we're going to head outside and speak to the others.
I'm losing my temper.
Yeah? What are you losing your temper about, me? What's my inventory looking like, too? I need to sell stuff yet again. Yeah.
do it my way.
It's still upsetting that I can't equip my other characters. Like, I can't level them up, and I can't equip my other characters. Greetings! Oleg seems to be in a good mood and greets you warmly. You certainly ruffled those villains' feathers. Well, anyway, new day, new troubles. Have you seen the fog? Never seen anything like it before. The road to Restov looks like someone spilled milk and it just hung in the air. I couldn't see anything through that soup, not even with a torch. Feels like witchcraft to me. I'd bet the Stag Lord's involved somehow. Rumors say he deals with all kinds of bad magic. Alright, let's go ahead and trade this stuff. Club. Composite longbows. I have 403 gold on me. Keep that masterwork longsword. I can put that nunchaku up. Short bow. I need that for Lindsay when I level her up. Short sword. Honestly, I could have built my Inquisitor differently now that I think about it. I could have done a dexterity build. And I'll have to fix that. I'll have to fix that later. Because I wanted to give him a short sword, and I realized it's a finesse weapon. So that's something to keep in mind later. He'll be able to dodge more stuff that way too. Leather. Studded leather. I don't know if Lindsay has studded leather, so I'm gonna hold on to that. Always keep rope on you, because it's an actual thing that gets used in the game as far as I remember. I think a crowbar is too, at some point. And I keep pelts, because I think you use those for crafting from what it says. Craftsman. Okay. I think you just sell it like it's only a trade item, but I've not played like far into the game, so I couldn't tell you if you need pelts for like a quest or something. So I usually keep them. And then you scroll left and you got all these. Tell me about yourself. Why open a trading post in such a dangerous place? I just Dislike the noise, Oleg answers reluctantly. I'm from Restov. Cities are complicated. Lots of people, and each with their place on the shelf. Bow before this one, fear this other. Bow before this one, fear this other. Don't do business with a third, but be sure to be extra nice to the fourth. And villages are little better. Everyone likes to stick their noses in each other's business. I just wanted a place where I could be on my own, be my own master. So I ended up here. I need to take care of the Stag Lord. Do you know of anything that could help me find him? That's quite a task you've set yourself on. The Stag Lord has a fortress somewhere in the area, but only a few chosen from the most trusted of his rabble are ever invited. The location of the fortress is heavily guarded secret, and with this fog hanging around, I'd imagine it would be even harder to find. I suppose you could try to follow the trail of those bandits who attacked the post before. They came from the southwest, from the side of the Thorn River. The fortress might be there, or at least some large camp of theirs where you can find information. What else can you tell me about the Stag Lord? Not much. Not like I've sat down and shared a cup of wine with this man, you know? But I think he arrived in the Stolen Lands less than a year ago, from what I've heard. But as soon as he got here, he took over everything. I wrote to Restov, tried to warn them that the Stag Lord wasn't some typical gang leader, but they didn't listen. The rumors about him are horrible. He'll kill a person if they so much as disagree with him. He never reveals his face. Those who've ever seen him up close report the same thing. Ugly scars cover every inch of his skin not covered by his clothes. The Stag Lord's past is a mystery. He just arrived one day. He was immediately a power to be reckoned with. I guess the most surprising thing about him is that he has as many followers who admire him as he has minions who obey him out of fear. He's got some inner strength in him, or maybe an inner madness. There are many who seem to follow him because of that madness, like it was some kind of virtue. We'll speak another time. Farewell.
Onwards!
Boken. Boken frowns as he ostentatiously examines the nearest wall, hands in his sleeves. Without turning to you, the old man finally says in a dull voice, "You want some potions?" Show me what you have. I'm actually going to sell you some. Acid flask. We're not going to need that because I believe we have cantrips people can use that have acid. We're going to keep Alchemist Fire though because that's a heavy hitter. Bark Skin, I don't need that. Don't need Enlarge Person. Don't need Reduce Person. Remove Blindness we're going to keep. We are probably going to keep the Shield of Faith. Potion of Vanish, I'm going to sell that. Sell that scroll. Can I help you in any way? Boken glances at you, suddenly interested. Well, since you're asking, there's a cave nearby. I used to pick berries in there, but the place has been overrun by spiders. The berries are red. Look a lot like raspberries. Fangberries, I call them. I'd be real grateful if you gathered a basket of them and brought them back. Just be quick if you do. They spoil quickly. Those spiders in the cave are mean. Here, let me give you some alchemical fire. Crafted it myself. Burn those spiders to a crisp. That will teach them for taking over my Fangberry cave. Okay, he just gave us 6 more alchemist fires. Nice. I also need a bucket of moon radishes. They're a rare and mysterious plant. I don't know where to find them, but I know that kobolds gather them and value them highly. It's not a huge deal, really. I'd do it myself if I were younger, but if you're willing, I'll pay you. 3 potions for the berries, and a purse full of coins for the radishes. Why do you need the fangberries and moon radishes, Boken? You want to know, huh? Well, I'll gladly tell you after you bring them to me. Alright. I'll try to help. Boken glances at you hopefully. Just watch out, alright? Don't end up someone's lunch. Remind me, what do you do here? What you do here. What's there to tell? I'm an herbalist. Make potions and sell them. Gather herbs, roots, berries. Boken sighs. I live in the forest. Live off the land. Since leaving Restov for these parts, I ended up a merchant here at Oleg and Svetlana's post. They let me in out of kindness. Help me with things. They bring me water or firewood when it's cold, and the occasional barrel of honey. They're good people. I should go. Okay, we got 2 side quests from him.
I lead. You follow.
And we're going to talk to Amiri, and then we're going to talk to Valerie, and I guess we're going to head out.
Let's move already.
We're going to talk, Amiri utters in a weary sigh. Alright, spill it. I'm listening. We're just talking. You don't like it? Amiri shrugs several times, perhaps flexing her muscles, or maybe just filling in the silence. Dunno, she admits at last. Depends what we're going to talk about. If it's about monsters or swords or scars, I approve. That's good. And if you're going to ask questions like why or what for and how, screw this. Amiri looks you over slowly head to toe. Or you got even harder ones. Tell me about yourself. This simple question seems to puzzle Amiri. She scratches her head, then starts counting on her fingers. First, I'm a barbarian. I'm strong. I grew up in the realm of the Mammoth Lords. I left my tribe, the Six Bears. Amiri looks thoughtfully at her 4 bent fingers and shrugs. And I like fights, she concludes, bending her thumbs. Her one thumb. What's it like to be a barbarian in the Six Bears tribe? Ha! Our people are big and strong. We can cut a monster in half with one swing. We can walk 3 days and nights with no rest. We can eat whole fried aurochs. I guess you had to do a lot of training to become as strong as you are. Training? Ha ha ha. No one freaking trained me. The boys of the Six Bears got the training. All I could do was watch. Amiri's eyes gleam with anger. And you know what? They were still crap even after all the training. Because I kicked their butts hard. Animals, bandits, monsters, all thought they were stronger than me. Idiots. Amiri spits on the ground. Because if you start a fight, you think you can win. You think you're stronger than your enemy. Amiri raises her chin proudly. I defeated them all. See all the scars on my face? Those horses are so loud. What does the realm of the Mammoth Lords look like? Huge and freezing. No place for weaklings. Amiri narrows her eyes as if evaluating your ability to survive her homeland. Tribes hunt auroch herds to survive. Aurochs are fast. So tribe follows herd for days just to not die of hunger. If you are weak, you stay behind and die in the snow. Tribe cannot stop. Also, there are giants and mammoths. Sometimes demons come too. Ah, and the mastodons. And the saber-toothed tigers. Amiri grins. You would survive, I think. For a few days. Ha! Why did you leave your tribe? Amiri flushes. Because they were buttholes, all of them. Men with cowards. Men were cowards and scoundrels. And women were scared like sheep. Amiri rolls her bloodshot eyes in fury. Men there think no girl can be a fighter because they are weak. They are afraid of a woman. They are afraid a woman can beat them. And females just nod. Go sow hides, cook meat, watch kids. That's what they always say. But I'm a warrior. I won't cook hides and watch meat. Amiri is already shouting, her fists clenched tightly. I told them so. I went hunting with men, and what did I get? Still the same. You are woman, you stay home. Even gave me a nickname, the Soft Chieftain. Like a warrior woman was a funny joke. I even went to hunt them, hunt the giants, the frost giants, and there... Amiri suddenly stops, breathing heavily, sweat beading on her forehead. After a moment, Amiri waves her hand awkwardly and forces herself to grin. So I left. Cowards, scoundrels, and sissies they were. That's why. You're quite a good fighter. Amiri jerks her head up. Quite good, huh? Compared to who? If I was a crappy male, I'd fight better. Is that what you say? She glares at you, her eyes narrow. Or you say I could be better. Like, go get some training, Amiri, right? I'm gonna go with lawful neutral. I meant exactly what I said. You're quite a good fighter. Don't raise your voice to me ever again. Amiri continues to breathe heavily for several seconds, glaring at you. But finally she calms down. I won't, she mutters. Forget it. I'm not going to call her rude. Thanks for telling me. Let's talk about something else. Why not? Amiri frowns, but you feel she's glad to change the subject. I don't know if this is going to go into the same thing, but so why did you leave your tribe, and what's the story with the frost giants? I told you already. They treat women like sheep, not fighters. Amiri frowns. As for giants, I'll tell you later. Someday. Maybe. That's a formidable sword, but it's not just a simple weapon, is it? You bet it's not simple. Check out how big it is. She proudly raises the blade, and you notice that even though Amiri is extremely strong, she still has difficulty wielding such a large sword. This sword belonged to a real blasted frost giant. I killed the beast and took this looker for myself. Fits me perfect. My damned trophy. Amiri's eyes flash with menace as if she's challenging some invisible enemy to try taking away her trophy. That is a huge freaking sword. And then you could tell her to go away, which I'm not going to do. Thanks for talking with me. Let's speak again later. Talking. When will we do some monster killing instead? Amiri sighs and turns away. Yeah, that's a big sword. And here's Valerie. Alright. We're almost done with the discussions.
Bores me.
Alright, let's talk to Valerie. Greetings, Valerie sighs. Everything is well, I hope. I'm ready for new orders. Tell me about yourself. What exactly would you like to know? I was born to a noble family, though I didn't remain long on the family estate. My father sent me to the Order of the Eternal Rose, but I left once I realized that it didn't match my principles. Where are you from? What was your childhood like? I was born in Brevoy, but in fact I've never seen much of the country. I spent my childhood on a remote estate owned by my noble family. My father is a respectable philanthropist and benefactor of the Church of Shaylin. He's also a renowned private collector and a great admirer of the arts. My mother saw to my education personally. From my early years, I learned good manners, how to behave at the dinner table, and how the proper form of words for every occasion. I also learned the difference between true nobles and low-born upstarts, and I learned how to treat each of them properly. Our home was always under the protection of several paladins of Shaylin. My father has donated a handsome sum to their order. One of them, a man of venerable age with a gray beard, once let me touch his shining armor. I still remember the admiration I felt when I touched the cold, polished steel. Valerie smiles. Of all the memories of my childhood, that one is somehow the warmest one. Why were you sent to the Paladin Order of the Eternal Rose? As you can imagine, for my first days I was surrounded by crowds of servants and nannies who never stopped praising my heavenly beauty. The paladins of Shaylin who used to visit our house echoed these praises. In the end, general consensus overwhelmed my father's better judgment. When I turned 6, I was brought to the Church of Shaylin and told that this would be my new home. Don't pity me, though, I beg of you. Many who hear this story immediately assume that my parents were cruel and had no love for their child. Valerie's eyes become stern. My parents had respect for me. They taught me something that has supported me all of my life, a sense of self-esteem. Besides, they didn't abandon me. Once every 6 months, they would come and visit me at the Order of the Eternal Rose. We had some tea, and then I had an hour to walk around the garden. Then they would take their leave, as etiquette demanded. What did they teach you in the order? A variety of things. Some of them appealed to me, others I simply couldn't accept. I enjoyed the physical activities and swordsmanship, but the arts, calligraphy, painting, poetry, and so many other ways to waste one's time. Valerie sighs. I guess that deep in my heart I always knew I'd never be a true paladin of Shaylin. Wielding a sword always felt more natural to me than handling a paintbrush. Why did you leave the order? Because of my heavenly beauty. Valerie winces in contempt. According to Shaylin's laws, all art is sacred, whatever form it takes. Severe punishment awaits those who dare harm a painting, sculpture, or poem, no matter how worthless the drivel might be. My looks always attracted unwanted attention from the pilgrims and acolytes at the temple. I received my first poem, dedicated to me, when I was 9. The author was some wealthy geezer. Valerie's lips thin in contempt, and that was only the beginning. Sculptures, pictures, poems, I was drowning in them. My admirers mobbed me, and I had to respectfully accept all their garbage. The clerics of the temple were magnanimous, for my suitors made generous offerings to the church. But one time, I just snapped. Barely suppressed anger glitters across Valerie's eyes. Some wealthy idiot has dedicated an extremely untalented poem to me, and he had the nerve to read it right to my face, holding my sleeve. The hour was late, and I was on my way to get some rest after a boring lesson on rhymes. I lost control and tore the poem apart right in front of him. Valerie raises her head proudly. The Paladins wanted to impose some punishment upon me. I don't remember which one exactly. They wanted me to repent. Instead, I just gathered my things and left. What did you do after you left the Order? I set off for Restov, Valerie shrugs. I wanted to get as far away as possible from Shaylin and the destiny everyone seemed so ready to force upon me. Besides, the School of Swordsmanship in Restov has quite a decent reputation. Honestly, I was hoping for an opportunity to learn from the famous Aldori masters. Eventually, it became clear that their technique wasn't a good fit for me. They teach to avoid impact, whereas I prefer to raise my shield. But my abilities and skills, which I had learned at the Order of the Eternal Rose, were enough to make the Sword Lords take interest in me. They offered me a chance to join the mercenaries who served the Sword Lords, and I accepted. I bet your beauty inspired many people in the Order. Valerie's gaze suddenly becomes cold. And here I had hoped to avoid the question. She exhales loudly. Well, let's get this over with, once and for all. You should understand that I am perfectly aware that most races, orders, and genders find me physically attractive. Oh boy. It's beyond my power to change that, but I've never given a potential admirer any reason to start a conversation with me. But it doesn't stop them. After leaving the Order, I took a dagger and cut off the long hair they used to praise. Well, now I get letters praising the beauty of my eyes. It was because of my appearance that I ended up in the Order of the Eternal Rose, though I never wanted to be a paladin. It was because of my beauty that an infinite number of suitors have pursued me, all of them confusing simple politeness with hints of affection. Valerie clenches her fists. But do you know what I really want? I want people to stop treating me like a piece of art. I want them to notice that I'm a person, that I'm capable of something more than smiling for paintings where I sit wearing a lacy satin dress, holding a basket of peaches in my lap. Is that too much to ask? The last question comes out in a shout, though Valerie doesn't seem to realize it. Ooh. I believe this is a choice that's going to affect things depending on how I respond. One moment. Okay. Thank you for your honesty. I understand you very well. You are a true friend who I can trust with my life. I am truly happy that you understand me. Thank you. Valerie smiles at you gratefully, and the smile is full of warmth, and you never expected from someone as stern as Valerie. You suddenly realize that you're smiling back at her. Let's change the subject. You have my attention. Valerie bows politely. Tell me about the way of Shaylin and about her paladins. Shaylin is a goddess of love, beauty, and art. Her paladins are something like armored artists. That's how they'd like to think of themselves, at least. Valerie tries to contain her feelings, but her inner contempt bursts forth. They are fanatical defenders of worthless, inartistic paintings and meaningless opuses, if you care to know my opinion. You speak of Shaylin with such contempt. What did the goddess of beauty do to earn your anger? She has been trying to ruin my life, Valerie snorts. Shaylin, the goddess of everything useless that ever existed in this life. All the beauty in the world, all the art, all the soulful sighs in the moonlight. They'll never feed a single family. and I beg you to restrain yourself from offering your own opinion. Trust me, I've heard everything you can tell me, more than once. Nothing and nobody can change my mind. Valerie looks at you with suspicion. As for Shaylin, she's the goddess of idlers. I almost joined her preposterous entourage. I'm just glad I was smart enough to denounce her while I still could. What do paladins of Shaylin usually do? They wander around, seeking the next pile of garbage, and when they find it, they call it an immortal piece of art and admire it until they're blue in the face. You might not believe this, but the paladins of Shaylin aren't allowed to slay their enemies if they beg for mercy. Can you guess why? Because a bandit, rapist, or murderer who has been put to the sword will never be able to create something beautiful in the future. So a paladin overpowers her enemy in battle, then inspires him to create a masterpiece. Valerie's face reflects extreme disgust. It might sound hilarious if it weren't true. Plus, all of Shaylin's followers are obliged to practice some sort of art in his or her free time, every single day, no matter what else is going on, even if you're feeling sick or hungry or sleepy. Otherwise, according to their clerics, you lose your connection with your goddess. A preposterous notion, wouldn't you agree? I understand that not every piece of art is good or even decent, but surely there must be at least a few great works among them. Is that what you think? Valerie curves an eyebrow, mocking amazement. Many share that delusion. I was deluded too for a while. Now I consider all works of art useless. People create this garbage because they have nothing better to do. The peasant doesn't paint a picture, he plows the earth to feed his family. The soldier has no time for sculpture, he must defend his homeland. But idlers and slackers have plenty of time to waste, so they smear canvases with paint and imagine they've done something worthy and valuable. Valerie shakes her head in disapproval. You said that every paladin must practice some kind of art. What kind of art did you pursue? Ah, that. I used to embroider, and I still do from time to time. A treacherous blush covers Valerie's cheeks. It's nothing, I assure you. Just a simple task to keep my hands busy and keep the gloomy thoughts at bay. Nothing special. I see. Let's talk about something else. I couldn't agree more. If I can be frank, all this talk about Shaylin makes me want to spit, but my noble upbringing prevents me from performing such an undignified act. So you're an atheist. You don't worship any deity? Right. I need no guidance from above. I have my own good conscience and my leader's orders to live by. I'm not going to say that because that's telling her to drop any nobility and titleage speak and all that stuff, which I'd rather her keep. So I'm not going to say that. Ooh. I'm going to save. Thank you for the conversation. I'm going to save as you wish. I'm going to save before I talk further, because I think she can be a romance option. There is romance in this game too, guys.
Battles await.
Multiple characters are romanceable as far as I know. And I like Valerie's character, despite all that she was just going about. She has good reason, though. So, I've saved. I guess you have plenty of suitors. Valerie rolls her eyes. Sadly, you're right to suppose that. Even here, in these remote lands, one can find offspring of many noble houses, and all of them consider it their duty to kneel before me, begging me to walk with them in the garden. Valerie's voice overflows with contempt. If words were poison, you'd be dying a horrible death. Oh, and don't forget about the village oafs. They understand the concept of nobility perfectly well, so they realize they'll be punished if they dare make any advance towards me. So they prefer to stare from a distance, drooling. And believe me, I can very well imagine what they discuss in the taverns. Valerie shivers and jerks her shoulders as if trying to shed the sticky, disgusting stares. You know, you really are quite beautiful. You're a reliable friend and a worthy ally, but would be a crime to ignore your beauty. Valerie gives you a stony look. I sincerely hope your words carry nothing more than a mere politeness. Aha, so this is an important one. For the moment, yes. I'm not going to stalk you like your admirers, but I wanted you to know that I've noticed you. So you like me, but won't seek my favor. Well, that's something new. Valerie raises her eyebrow and smiles, but this smile expresses amusement, not her usual cold arrogance. Okay, I think that was a good option. You're so eager to follow my orders. Why? What do you mean, why? Valerie looks at you in bewilderment. I follow your orders. I've joined your campaign because I have faith in you. I believe your intentions to be noble, though things may not always turn out as you've planned. You are my commander. Your orders are law. It is my duty to follow them. Valerie hesitates for a moment. Well, so long as you don't order me to do something that's absolutely dishonorable. But that would never happen, I hope. Alright, and then the other one's like, I tell her to leave. So these two, it's like tell her not to follow etiquette and maintain good manners, which I don't want to tell her. And the other one's tell her to leave. So that's all talking with Valerie. As you wish. Valerie nods with dignity. Alright, we've spoken to our party members. I believe it is time to disembark. I believe I'm going to save again. Because that's what I do. I save games and load games. All the time.
No one stands in my way.
We have a bit of time today. Maybe another hour and a half or so. Depending on how busy I get with this. Let's go back in the house and put some stuff in the chest that I'm not going to need just yet. Oh, yes. Let's put away Tartusio's present. Let's put away the books because those have weight. Let's put away the pelt. Let's keep the food, that way we can cook. Put away the nunchaku. It's not sorting itself like it should. Okay.
I'm losing my temper.
There we go. Alright. Let's head out of town. Out of the trade post.
We do it my way.
Where's my cat? Okay, so it's going to give me the option to access the storage if I have stuff in storage before I leave. And then I close that. Nope, that's not what I did. I press triangle to leave.
All this waiting.
And then here's the party selection. I have 4 characters in my current group of the 6. And then on the right are the companions that are in reserve. So I have Pandemona, I have Jeun, Harbeck, and Manias. We're going to go grab Pandemona, and we're going to grab Jeun, while the other 2 stay in reserve. And that is our party. And I believe we're going to be leveling up here in a minute. Because we're going back to the world map, I should be able to access my party. Unfortunately, we can't do that at the hub, which sucks. You can do that in the PC game. You just go into your menu and you have access to your entire party, like everyone that you have available to you. But I have to go to the world map, which is me having to go through load screens. So let's make a save called level 2, level up 2. Just to have that in case I need to go back to it. I guess the mercs don't have enough experience to level. So let's start with my character. Oh, nope. Okay. So I get to pick what class I'm going to go into. I could go second level kineticist. I'm gonna go actually Sword Saint Magus. Okay, so I picked Sword Saint Magus. Let's go Persuasion for first skill, so we can continue to try to be good at that. Let's do Nature. Let's do Arcana. What is the last point we're going to do? What is it? Let's do world. Knowledge world. Might as well. And then I get, as a sword saint, a chosen weapon. Let's see what our options are. So we get a focus into a weapon. Ideally, a magus uses a one-handed weapon, and the other hand is their casting ability. I think we're going to go with Bastard Sword, because I don't have access to Bastard Swords, and this will give me proficiency and a weapon focus. I want to have a larger sword without going two-handed. So Bastard Sword's probably what I'm going to do. If I don't like it, I'll change it later. So now, because I'm a magus, I get cantrips or level 0 spells, and I get level 1 spells. So we're gonna go shield, shocking grasp, because I want the lightning theme. I think I'm going to get Stone Fist for the option of better unarmed. Expeditious Retreat. And Enlarged Person. We're going to do that. So we're level 1 Kineticist, level 1 Sword Saint. We get Sword Saint special abilities. I think their main ability is intelligence for their casting, which I have a +2, I think. So that's my pick. Let's go with Valerie. Get her leveled up. Valerie is a Tower Shield Specialist. We're going to level her up as one. So she's going to get athletics. She needs her mobility up. I think she needs her persuasion up for a build option. I want to say that. I'm not sure. Let's give her mobility though. That's gonna help her with dodging, I believe. Okay, we are going to give her armor focus, and then we'll pick which type of armor, which we're going to go heavy armor, because she's going to be our tank. The highest AC we can give her with heavy armor. So, armor focus feat of heavy, raised upper mobility, and 1 point of persuasion. Next is Lindsay the Bard. We're going to continue down her bardic line. We are going to give her Arcana, Trickery, of course. Use Magic Device and Persuasion. Oh, we still have 1 point. Okay. Mobility. I guess that'll help her. She gets a Bard talent. What are we going to have her focus in? We're going to do skill focus and put it into trickery. Because she's our trickery character. And now she has bardic spells to pick. And we want to have... we want to have buffs and healing stuff. We're going to get remove fear, because fear is a big thing. Yeah, that's going to be huge, because fear can make our characters unwillingly run from the fight, and we definitely want to be able to take that away. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Next is Amiri. And I think finally, at this moment, Amiri's a barbarian. We're going to continue her barbarian route. We're going to give her athletics and mobility. Give her perception and nature. And then her rage power. I think we're going to give her lethal stance, is what I'm used to giving her. Focus her strikes. It gains. It's a stance she takes while in her. I think while she's in her rage. Yeah, while she's in a rage power. +1 competence bonus on melee attack rolls and thrown weapon attack rolls. So yeah, lethal. And that's all that she needs. All right. Now we'll save separately on the road again. On the road again. And we'll get to doing stuff. As soon as I figure out what my characters are equipped with. She has already a Fauchard. Scroll of Shield, Scroll of Magic Missile. Take off. Take off. She has no armor on, actually. So... I guess she can't wear it. Is it because she's not proficient in armor? Interesting. What does Joan have? Wrong page. She has a crossbow. Why does she have a crossbow? Oh, she was given a scimitar as well. That's interesting. I mean, I guess she can use that. And she has a bunch of healing and bless scrolls. That's cool. So, she's not supposed to be wearing armor, really. Let's give her some potions. Have those on hand. Give her some potions. Definitely give Valerie some potions. She also has a lantern. Was he T-posing? It looked like he was T-posing. Alright, now that I'm actually set. Alright, we're gonna go down the road. So we need to go to Thorn Ford. Let's go over here. Random encounter! A jittery old man in squalid clothing shuffles up to you. His gray hair is unkempt, and he continually clenches and unclenches his wrinkled, freckled hands. When he stops and looks up at you, his eyes widen, and he tugs at his beard. Strange weather. Invisible fog, creeping out of the woods, soars beyond the sky, obscures the sun and moon. Strange. The old man shakes his head, his eyes shifting about seemingly at random. I don't like this old man. Looks like the kind who can cast the evil eye. Who are you? The old man freezes for a moment. Remus. But that won't help with the fog. What are you doing here? The old man raises a thick eyebrow curiously. I do nothing. Breathe. Walk. Observe. The fog looks visible enough to me. I see more than ever. I've never seen so much before. The old man wipes his hand across his face and sighs wearily. But someone must look, and no one else can. Invisible fog? Does that mean you can find your way through it? The fog is wrong. It hinders your legs, not your sight. I wish not to try. I should probably go. The old man stares at you intently. You hasten? You should. Your rival wastes no time. He races, but in another direction. He searches for power. He'll find it. My rival? Do you mean Tartusio? The old man tugs his beard again. He's not tall, but he wants to climb high. Beside him are those who could stand against him, and might yet steal. What power is he searching for? Someone else's. Old, but forever young. That which was taken from another. That which gave joy, and now gives death. Can you tell me where he is now? He's in an old tomb, south of the trading post. Thank you. The old man nods. How do you know we're rivals? I don't know. I see. You can choose where you set your eyes, usually. But can you choose what they see? All the more reason not to linger. Farewell. The old man turns and walks away slowly, muttering softly. Once stolen, the land should be reclaimed. once reclaimed, bound with the claimer shall it be. Bound, merged, joined by unbreakable ties, claiming the land, claiming its pain, claiming its death. And then he walks off.
Let's move already.
All right, we gotta fix our formation while we're on this too. Okay, imp.
Head on.
If I stop backing out of it. Guess imp's gonna be in the middle. Valerie up front so she can pull the enemies, and our healer Jaeun is going to be in the back. All right.
As you order.
I know what to do. Let us not hesitate. Focus on the goal.
Alright, seeing what abilities. Okay, her stance is already active.
Battles await.
Oh, we forgot Tiger. There he is. There he goes. Okay. So I guess we're gonna go after our rival because Tartusio's up to no good. Tartusio, our leader's ignoble rival, is searching a nearby tomb for a certain ominous artifact. Let's go there and intervene. Definitely. Where is that going to be? Over there somewhere. So we have to head down this way, I believe. Yes. Alright. If it's a tomb, it's gotta have traps. That's all I can think.
And so they walked on.
No one stands in my way. Let's move already. Battles await.
A gnome in gaudy purple garb seizes your attention. Of course, the scoundrel Tartusio, who you know from your time in Restov. The vile gnome is standing on a small hill, expressing his discontentment in every way he can muster.
Let me guess, you're still dawdling. Should I make some tea in the meantime? Bake a pie, perhaps? Plant a small garden and harvest some cherries? Perhaps you'd be more comfortable wearing fool's caps and colored trousers. Then at least I'd be able to sell tickets. Come one, come all! Feast your eyes upon the slowest and the most ridiculous buffoons in Golorian.
Why hurry? The same end awaits us all.
Hold your tongue, gnome. I can hardly tell your twaddle from the buzzing of a fly.
Quickly now. If we don't find that artifact soon, someone else might seize it. Someone who's standing over there watching you right now, you fools!
Tartusio turns his angry gaze upon you. He nods to his guards to draw their weapons. Okay, looks like I can try to recruit somebody from the other side. Jathal, isn't Tartusio's arrogance long past what you can suffer? I can find far better use for a companion such as you. Succeeded. The elf looks at you for a brief moment, then nods silently. She draws her weapon and eyes Tartusio coldly.
I see my magnificent rival will stop at nothing, even at stealing the servants of his enemy. Let us see if your fools are even more useless than mine. Draw your swords and cover my retreat.
Suppose I need inspiration.
Alright. Confirm. Oh, Pandemonius first. Awesome. What is she going to do? What can she do? We have Harem over here. Is he hostile? Oh, I think he's friendly. Or maybe he's leaving. So there's 1, 2, 3. At least 3 enemies. Can I charge into one of those guys? Oh, there's an enemy over here. Can't charge to them. She can charge to him, though. As one attack. Awesome. So she's just gonna sprint in there. Nice. That was a big hit. Look at this dude. Who's this guy supposed to be? Alright. 5-foot step over here. And we're gonna blast him. So I started blasting. That's a pretty good hit. Okay, so I guess he's on our side. Lindsay, if you would please inspire courage. Oh, they hit Jathel. What can you do, June? It's Blessing of the Faithful, I believe. And what does that do? Standard action, the Ecclesia Thurge can bless one ally within close range, 30 foot, +2 sacred bonus on attack rolls, skill checks, and ability checks, saving throws, and to AC until the Ecclesia Thurge's next turn. Okay, so that's pretty good. So let's, well, stop opening menus for one. Let's bless somebody. Who do we bless? Let's put it on Amiri. Okay. Oh, they enlarged that person? Oh, now they're going after Pandemona. Alright, Amiri's turn. We're going to rage. And we're going to charge. Nope, can't charge to them. We're going to get in their range so that when they try to use their bow, Amiri will smack them. And end our turn there. Valerie. You need to take this guy on with the shield right in front of you. Hold his attention.
Let us strike as one.
That was a miss, but at least you're attacking him. You're engaging him. Tartusio, I believe he ran away. Pandemona, what are you gonna do? Use Arcane Weapon Enhancement to expend 1 point from Arcane Pool as a swift action to grant any weapon they're holding a +1 enhancement bonus for 1 minute. Okay, we'll do that. Swift action to do that. It's not what I wanted to do. We're gonna swing at this guy since we just enhanced our weapon.
This should do it.
And we missed, unfortunately. Another good hit.
Serves you right.
Miss. Oh, she just killed that giant woman with an opportunity attack. That was great. June. Nobody's really hurt except for Jathel. Take a shot. And you missed. Uh-oh.
This was not.
Oh, she just dropped. He just did a bunch of damage to Pandemona. Killed that person.
altar.
Pandemona's down. I need to get her rezzed. Miss.
You deserved it.
Does she have... Oh, okay, so... How do I access... usable items? Oh, I think it's my character that has it. Actually, I think it's in my inventory. Well, I probably shouldn't use it. Because they're going to bring back, but she's going to have a penalty. But I think we'll rest after this, so it won't be as big of an issue. But that is good to have on hand. Equipped at least. So let's take a shot at this person.
Do not hold back.
And there's a hit. She got a hit in at least. You're going to charge on that person. And they're dead.
Onwards.
Another good hit.
Any last wishes?
Miss.
We shall overcome.
There's a hit. Oh, Jathel was knocked down too. I didn't realize that.
Look at me, Gorum!
All this waiting for.
Alright, so they're asking me if I want to switch to Jathel, and I really don't want to do that.
Our time has come.
As much as I like her character, I don't want to not have my healer.
Together we stand.
I'm losing my temper.
I'm by your side.
Let's move already. Battles await. No one stands in my way.
Here I am.
I'm losing my temper.
Godspeed.
Alright, now that the battle's over, save the game again. Because there is some looting to do. I don't know if there's chests and stuff.
All this waiting bores me.
It seemed from afar to be but cracks in the stone, but it turns out to be a faded image of the sun. A grinning jackal's skull has recently been scratched on top of the image.
Forwards.
On closer inspection, one can discern the outline of a head with a single eye. Judging by the outline, this bas-relief once depicted the sun and moon. Now it's almost completely eroded.
Onwards.
The image carved in the stone was almost completely worn away over the ages. One can still distinguish a sickle, a sword, and a skull with a single eye socket covered with a coin.
I need a challenge.
requires your attention.
This way.
What's that?
Ancient Cyclops coin. Memento of times long past. A well-grounded antiquities collector might pay handsomely for it.
Let's move already.
Let's go.
Over there!
That's a trap.
Battles await.
Anything else?
She got it.
Way.
Bas relief of the sun, long eroded. The vague outlines of four strange creatures have been carved over it.
No one stands in my way.
Without a doubt.
Is there anything else here?
Godspeed. Follow my lead.
How sweet the first breath of fresh air after the stale, damp stuffiness of that tomb. Before us stretched an unending heath, replete with hills and gullies, and patches of low shrubs. Already the trail of Tartusio and his companions had gone cold. Oh great, it's going to be checks. Lore nature, but we would not give up so easily. Whether the trail went cold or not, it was one we had to follow. Succeeded. No blade or grass was bent. It must have been enough time to straighten back up, since whoever last passed through, but the heath's dry earth preserved the prints of little shoes. Our eyes to the ground, we followed the trail. It's going to keep giving us checks. We walked and walked until finally we came to a huge gully, the dried up bed of the river of yore. But what is this? At the edge, the grass was trampled down and the soil turned up, and claw prints, lots of them. We stumbled upon a fresh battlefield, and here the trail split. One set of footprints walked away from the battle and down into the gully. The brave footprints that faced down their enemies followed the path along its edge. Try to imagine who or what left those claw marks. Succeeded, and here the trail split. One set of footprints walked away from the battle and down into the gully. The brave footprints that faced down their enemies followed the path along its edge. The claw marks were not deep. The attackers were small and lean, and these creatures walked on two legs. Finally, the form of the prints left no doubt in our minds. We stumbled onto kobold lands. Let's see. Detect magic. We tried to find any traces of magic in the surroundings. We discovered traces of a spell, apparently from the illusion school of magic, near where the lonely trail descended into the gully. Illusion. We carefully studied the trail that led down into the gully. To our surprise, we discovered that the little shoe prints turned into little clawed footprints on their way to the gully. It was as if someone from Tartusio's band was wearing shoes and then either took them off or grew claws, then jumped into the gully to avoid the battle. We looked down into the gully. The path was frequently used. In the dust we saw both set of footprints together. It was clear that those who had no claws left the battle surrounded by those that did. Well, Tartusio was a mage, a sorcerer, so I'm going to imagine... One set of footprints walked away from the battle and down into the gully. The brave footprints that faced down their enemies followed the path along its edge. I'm going to do the down into the gully, because I'm after Tartusio. I think the other one might have been Harem. Because he was the only other one that ran away. And he was a cleric. I don't think clerics have illusion. So we're going to go down into the gully. The way down was steep and it took some time to reach the bottom. Walking on the loose soil was difficult, but the clawed footsteps were easy to spot. The bottom of the gully went downhill deeper and deeper. Finally, the footprints turned, whirled up the steep slope, and disappeared at the gully's edge. We couldn't but admire the animal agility and clever claws of the creature we were following. The slope before us was as tall as 2 men and ended at a hanging crest. Climbing such a slope would be no easier than climbing a sheer wall. However, a long, steady-looking root stuck out of the ground from the top. Mobility. There was one brave hero among us who decided to try his luck and climb the root. It's got to be her. She's a +9. Succeeded. After tugging on the root, Lindsay took a deep breath, grabbed it with both hands, and began the difficult ascent. Pushing with her feet against the slope and grabbing the root with both her hands, she climbed higher and higher. Only her heavy breathing and the faint creaking of the root broke the deadly silence. Suddenly, dust poured down from the top of the slope, and the root began to slide from the ground. Keeping her wits, Lindsay shifted her weight to her legs and froze. After a tense moment, she continued her journey, and soon had she reached the top of the slope. After catching her breath, she lay on the ground and offered her hand to help the next of us up. After climbing out of the gully, one by one, we easily found the clawed footprints again and moved forward. The air grew tense. We sensed that we were approaching our target, and our intuition proved correct. That was tense. I'm glad it worked out. Save.
I'm losing my temper.
Okay.
I know the way.
Listen to me. A dragon, huge, sparkling, flew down to me from the sky and told me a secret. A great relic that will win the kobold's glory is hidden somewhere nearby. Enough of this pitiful existence. Search for it. Search and bring it to me.
A kobold with unusually purple scales stands a full head above his tribesmen. Their leader speaks in the suspiciously familiar voice of the gnome Tartusio. Dragon, glory, dragon! The voices of the kobolds rise in excitement. We know. The mites under the old sycamore. They possess the magic treasure. Very ancient. Stop deceiving these poor reptiles, Tartusio.
Who is there? How? Here, you fools! I mean tribesmen. Don't listen to his lies. I shall bring you to glory. Just help me find the relic and stop this trickster.
Oh boy.
I am superior!
I just want to take out Tartusio. I don't want to fight kobolds. Well, I'll have her charge in. Miss. Inspire courage. I didn't get to do any healing. I should have done some healing. Charge. God. Miss. Is it just the one? Just end my turn.
Stay behind me.
This is where I step in.
Go down!
There we go.
All this waiting bores me.
Alright, so we had to kill two of them.
Let's move already.
There's an imprint on the ground near the empty chest. It looks like another chest of the same size recently sat beside this one.
Remain vigilant.
Mushrooms.
No one stands in my way.
Ancient Rosslandic coin.
Battles await.
So that's one of the collectibles.
Let us press on.
Pay attention.
Oh, we uncovered a chest. Hidden chest.
I'm losing my temper.
You can rely on me.
All
And
this
it's full of
waiting
alcohol.
bores me. Over there.
Another coin.
I will guide us.
Did I not grab that bag? Nope, I did not. Oh, a recipe for haggis.
No one stands
Awesome.
in my way.
Just letting the ink dry. And Lindsay was called for.
Battles await.
Keep formation.
There's
I'm
another one.
losing my temper.
Alright. Well, he ran off. He's disguised as a kobold. Looked like shaman or something. And they believed him. Tartusio needs to be put down. All right. Tartusio, now in the guise of a kobold, has disappeared. All we know is that he's searching for a certain artifact or relic in the vicinity of the old sycamore. That means our road leads there too. And we probably should rest, maybe? Okay, so that's where the road is. That's where it's going to meet. Nope, do not go there. I like that you can fill in roads so you can have those connections.
Would be welcome.
Okay, looks like we need to rest. Here's our first rest on the map. So it was at 9 hours. We're not going to use rations because we're going to forage. Use healing spells and abilities before resting. Okay, hunting. We are going to... Well, it looks like I'm the best at the hunting. Who's the best cook? It's Lindsay by far. Well, I can actually. Knowledge World is how you know cooking. Lindsay's good at stealthing the area. Okay, so I could cook. Amiri could hunt, since that's probably something she's gonna like anyway. Lindsay can camouflage the camp. I could cook. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I just learn how to make haggis? Okay, looks like only the NPCs have special abilities they can do. Special roles. So I usually have Valerie maintain her armor so she has +1 circumstances to AC bonus in the first battle within 12 hours. Extends to a +1 additional battle for every 4 levels Valerie gains beyond level 1. Okay, so it's just a 1 battle bonus. So the last two are people that aren't really good guards. Okay, perception roll, that's what it is. So because she has a high wisdom, she gets a 4. She doesn't have any ranks in perception, though. Failing the roll results in a surprise attack. Oh, okay.
Ah, bite me, greedy bastards. I don't care. I never wanted your crappy helmet.
There's no point in being bitter, Amiri. The Baron will decide who will wear the Stag Lord's helm. He is our leader. It's up to him.
Okay. Lindsay spoiled the meal. And I guess we're good. Old Sycamore. Yes.
Greetings.
Keston Garrus, the former captain of Jamandi Eldori's personal guards, nods to you as though you'd seen each other in Restov only yesterday. He limps noticeably, and his clothes are stained with blood, and looks every bit as grim and focused as when you first met. But this time you also sense a hint of excitement in his eyes.
I have urgent news from Restov. The investigation that I have conducted at Lady Jamandi's orders have proved your innocence. Tartuccio was and still is the Pataxian spy. That dreadful night, it was him who had opened the gate and let the assassins in. It appears that he had planned to gain the barony and Eldori's support, only to later place these lands under the command of his true patron. King Irovetti is no stranger to intrigue, and likes to use others to do his dirty work. Anyway, Lady Jamandi sends her apologies. We almost had Tartuccio cornered when this damned mist fell. First we entirely lost our way, and then stumbled right into a bandit ambush. My people can barely stand, so I would be grateful if you would help us capture this Tartuccio. He must be somewhere nearby. Bring that scum to Oleg's trading post, dead or alive. The Sword Lords will remember this favor.
How did Tartuccio manage to fool you?
That sly bastard has caused us no little trouble, that's for sure. When he showed up in Restov and announced he was going to join the expedition, nobody suspected a thing. Yes, a gnome, yes, a sorcerer, but so what? Even after that terrible night, some of my people were willing to bet money on you being the spy. His overconfidence was his downfall. Tartuccio's henchmen, it seems, imagined they could safely meet with Pataxian spies in the town's seedy underbelly. But Restov is the ancestral home of the Eldori, and Lady Jamandi is respected not only by the aristocracy and the common folk, but also by those on the other side of the law. We received a message from the slums. A good friend, who wished to remain anonymous, suggested the Sword Lords take a closer look at a certain guest from Patax. Jamandi immediately sent for me and ordered me to capture the spy, all very quietly, of course. He told us everything, and not only about Tartuccio. I doubt that Irovetti was pleased to hear of his agent's failure.
A nasty grin crosses Keston's face. What can Pataxian spies hope to find in the stolen lands?
Pataxian spies are much like magpies. They'll grab anything that catches their eye. Information, treasure, artifacts. This time, King Niravetti had a chance to seize the entire Stolen Lands region, and at the Eldori's expense. I'll give you some advice for the future. Be wary of the Pataxian king. He's truly a snake of a man.
Garrus is the name of a noble house in Brevoy, is it not? You're a noble, then.
Used to be. It's only a name now, nothing more. The House Garess are a noble family in Brevoy. They own several mines in the Galushkin Mountains. My father Evan is cousin to Lord Howland Garess, but he's my father no longer. In any case, I brought shame upon my name and was punished accordingly. The family disowned me. I fled to Restov and took up the life of a simple mercenary, until I received an assignment here in the Stolen Lands.
Care to tell me why you were exiled? You've asked me a favor. I'd say you owe me an explanation.
Fair enough. For a Garess, the prosperity of the house and the honor of the name stands above all else, and I was betrothed to a widow from another noble house. This union was of great importance to the family. However, 3 months before the wedding, I met a commoner girl, gentle and pure, and we fell in love. I would have rather died than leave my Tanya, so I decided to break off the engagement with my noble bride. I could never have expected what would follow. My father was furious. I'd set a pointless love affair above the interests of the house. He expelled me from the family and ordered to leave our lands under threat of death. And Tanya, her mother was seriously ill, and she stayed behind to care for her rather than follow me into exile. Thus, I was on my own, disgraced, without a name, and without love. Don't imagine that I ask for pity. Everyone gets what they deserve.
I'd say you deserved a better fate, Keston. True love should not be punished.
What's done is done.
He lowers his head. I would know more of House Garess and your homeland.
Well then, ask away.
Tell me of the lands you grew up in.
House Garess owns a number of valleys and gorges in the Galushkin Mountains. The landscape makes these places easily defensible, and they're rich in ores and everything else the depths of the earth have to offer. It is a place of rare beauty. When I moved to Restov, I couldn't get used to it for a long time. There was nothing but sky between the roofs. No mountain peaks anywhere in sight.
Tell me of House Garess.
It is an old and renowned family, one of the most influential in Brevoy. A long time ago, the Garess house entered a pact with the dwarven clan of Golka. This proved to be of great benefit to both parties, and they've supplied the ore for our forges ever since. Lord Howland even took the son of the dwarven leader as his ward. Who would have known where this would lead? The same winter that Brevoy lost the Rogarvia dynasty, Howland's only natural son, Bren, went missing in the mountains. Thus, Toval Golka, the Lord's dwarven ward, became heir to House Garess. The lad has it tough, though. Too many believed Howland should have chosen someone of his own blood to be the heir. I would imagine my own father had similar plans for me, but we all know how that went.
Let's finish this conversation some other time.
As you wish.
I'll see you later. Farewell. All right. Let's see what trouble we can get into now.
No one stands in my way.
I'll go ahead.
Cowardly traitors, sons of a pike, return the relic. Coward, turn, Elec. Silly, silly kobold, go look your relic dungeon. Look under bed, under table, haha. Silly kobold, have no bed and no table. Search your eggs. You lose relic and blame mites. Accuse queen. Lies. Chief soot scale, not silly. The kobold leader shakes his weapon at the insult. Lies. Chief scale. The kobold crier diligently copies the words and gestures of the chief, swinging his weapon. It seems both groups are but a breath away from battle. So warlike. It's like a miniature version of the Paladin Imperial Chronicles. Stop! What's going on here? The little mite jumps in place. Stranger! Stranger! You see, yes? Silly kobold attack mite. Insult us, our magnificent queen. Lies! Mite thief! Steal relic from kobold. We revenge. Help us, stranger. Kobolds, tell me more about what happened. Chief. Kobold and Mite live here long, live in peace. But now Mite thief, steal our relic. Thief! Teal! Elec! Echoes the crier enthusiastically. How do you know the relic was stolen by the mites? Mite tricksy, but Chief Sootscale is more tricksy. I call. New shaman come. Shaman Tartuk know who stole relic. Tartuk good. Tartuk, Ud. What is this relic? Relic key. Kobold take relic. Enter sacred hall. Did you really attack the mites? Revenge! Mite coward. Kobold come. Mite run. We come take the relic. Take them relic. Go. Let they give back our relic. We give back there. And where is Shaman Tartuk now? Shaman was dungeon. Did not enter sacred hall. Might collapse our entrance. Kobold wrath might. Tartuk is not a real kobold. He deceived you. Sootscale not stupid. He no real kobold. The chief puffs up his chest, rejecting the insult. It's clear to me now. Mites, I want to ask you a few questions. A small mite bows comically. I, Seneschal Vajic. Here our magnificent warrior queen Bada. He points at his large companion adorned with the hide of a wolf. Queen defeats scary wolf battle, vanquish 100 enemies, charm 100 hearts. Queen Bada allow you speak her. May sit. We understand, he says generously. Legs tremble when see such beauty. My queen, why did you fight the kobolds? The Mite Queen shakes her head sadly. We live here long. Kobolds and mites. We live peace, friends, trade, together hunt good shaggy animal. Gut it. Sweet, long ago Chief Kobold and our king make good alliance. 2 branch old sycamore we take. Charm and give each other. This be relic. Kobold have one, might have one. Not long ago kobold come, yell we thief, take our relic. Silly kobold. Why do you need the relic? 2 relic. They key, give entrance to sacred hall. There, under old sycamore, 1 key for kobold, 1 key for might. Each can go hall. All fair. Why do the kobolds think the relic was stolen by the mites? Kobold chief, silly, ugly, old. Seneschal and other mites giggle at these words. He lose last mind. Listen to new shaman Tartuk. Shaman not so ugly. Badal smacks her lips in approval, but angry. Trixie, say wicked might. I catch him and make crown from his scale. Pretty crown purple. Do you know where this purple-scaled shaman is now? He prowl dungeon near our house. We see he wants, but not catch. Want find shaman, look underground. Very well, I have no more questions. I would hear my companion's advice. Why support either? Do you think they'll ever listen to you? Let us battle these little ones, both groups, and be done with it. It's up to you, but we should remember that living among such creatures could be dangerous. The kobolds and mites are aggressive, poorly organized, and unreliable. It's better to exile them and not interfere, lest we're entangled in their unworthy deeds. I'm not neutral, so I'm missing out on an option. I'm not a fan of the mites myself. So I'm actually going to side with the kobolds and Chief Soot Scale. I side with the kobolds and Chief Soot Scale. You interfere in a war you have no stake in. I hope you know what you are doing. Chief Soot Scale hisses in triumph. Strangers now guest my house. Friends. Queen, the Might Leader snarls angrily. We not leave. Fighters. Hit stranger. Hit silly kobold.
Let's go. We will be victorious!
Okay, I don't have range. I need to heal the kobolds. Oh, she ended where she was. That bird scared me. Miss.
Attack!
Miss. Inspire courage. God, look at those pictures. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with those mites. Actually, there you go. Nice. Birding hand them.
Let us strike as one!
There's one down. What? Does she move well beyond? Oh, that's dumb. It said she had enough movement. Sometimes it's just messing up for me, I guess.
Serves you right.
Reduced. Alright, get your rage in.
A calculated risk. Do not falter! Ha!
Miss. I think they'll be fine.
Strike as one.
Battle awaits.
Awesome.
I'm losing my temper.
Right.
I'm losing my temper. Right. Okay.
Let's move already.
Still feel like they're gonna pull enemies if they're that close. There we go.
All according to plan.
Pay attention.
Okay, there's a check there.
Forwards. I know the way.
What for Gorum?
You deserved it. I'm writing you out of our story.
Critical hit on a frog face.
Do not hold back.
Any last wishes?
No one stands in my way. Battles await.
Follow my lead.
I see something. Applause, please.
I'm losing my temper.
I hear Moonradish grew somewhere near, but where?
We do it my way.
An oversized mite approaches you. He raises his bald blue head with dignity, and his neck is decorated with tagged locks and wolf's fang pendant. To his right walks a kobold, also swelling with conceit. Welcome, peace zone. Here no war. No one attack. Only maybe fat wolf lord. He want chew us. We more sly. Who kill him? Big reward. Ward. What did you say about wolves? Near Long Tree live pack wolf. Big angry. Tell mite and kobold bad thing. We maybe kill him easy, but war take hunters away. Fine. I will kill the wolf leader. The leader of the hunters nods at you solemnly. Who are you? Peaceful mite and kobold. Hunt together. Was easy. Many mite. Many kobold hunt together. Now not. Not like this. Why are you not fighting each other? War bad. Puddles, blood. Scream loud. Mite and kobold dead. Cold. Why fight? Dangerous. Hairy wolf around. The mite shakes his head helplessly. Wise words. I think many people, not just mites and kobolds, could learn something from these creatures. Bah! Cowards. After a short pause, the mite pats his neighbor on the back. But we no fool. Go and befriend. No want war. But Miss Queen Bada, big beauty. Miss Beauty? The kobold scratches his head, baffled. I suppose I'll go.
Remain vigilant.
All this waiting bores me.
I need a challenge. As you order. Running won't help you!
More big frogs.
This is where I step in.
We shall overcome.
Serves you right.
Bring it!
Let us press on.
No one stands in my way.
Move on!
Let's move already.
We're going to try this mobility check. Climb up the trunk.
Won't kill me.
Applause, please.
Understood.
We had to do it 2 times.
I'm losing my temper. All this waiting bores me.
Anything else? Applause, please.
Wand of Lead Blades. Lead Blades increases momentum and density of your melee weapons just as a foe. All melee weapons you are carrying when the spell is cast deal damage as if one size category larger than they actually are. For instance, a medium longsword normally deals 1d8 points of damage, but it would instead deal 2d6 points of damage if benefiting from lead blades. Only you can benefit from this spell. If anyone else uses one of your weapons to make an attack, it deals damage as normal for its size. Interesting.
Battles await.
So we definitely want to do some healing.
No mistakes. I stand ready.
Applause, please.
Let's go.
Okay, that didn't do as much as I wanted it to, but it's better than nothing.
Let's move already.
On my way.
No one stands in my way.
About time.
What troubles you?
In due time. Stand with me.
Okay, so I can press circle to make them stop moving. That's good to know. Tatzel worms.
You deserved it.
Attack!
Oh, an actual good hit from her for once. Nice.
I wrote it like I saw it.
I'm losing my temper. All this waiting
I know the
bores
way.
me. Battles await.
Oh, I definitely think it's worth it. I've been playing for... This is my second session on the PlayStation. Like, I'm familiar with the game itself because I have it on Steam. But I definitely think it's worth it overall because it's especially since they added the turn-based option on here to make it more like the tabletop game where you take turns and it's more strategic. It's a lot more fun for me instead of it just being a grind fest like a Diablo game or something with like you just spamming abilities and stuff like that. You actually have to take strategy, spells, abilities and stuff like that into consideration with your party. It's got kingdom management stuff, and I'm all about kingdom management, and it's got customization of characters. You can have an entire party of custom characters, or you can have like a mix of like the game NPCs and custom characters. You can respec them just for 3 times. I think 3 times for free, and then the rest of it you spend money in game. You have the kingdom management deal. Again, I'm all about that. You have like moral decisions. I love being given decisions and being able to have different endings and stuff like that too. But I would definitely recommend this game for those that like RPGs, those that like turn-based strategies, or if you like real time, you could leave it into the default mode. If you like customizing characters, leveling them up as different stuff, building your characters piece by piece, and if you like moral quandaries and issues that you can decide upon, you definitely have that in this game. If you like kingdom management and like building structures and deciding on events for your kingdom, that's definitely in this game too. But I would definitely recommend it. I've played this. I think the last session was like 6 hours, and I'm only hitting maybe 3 or 4 today. No problem. I hope anyone that plays this game gets as much fun, if not more than me, out of this, because I have my own play style. I have my own idea of like what I want with my party and my character, and it's different for each person because they have their own likes for classes and stuff. Oh yeah, definitely recommend it. And I'm getting into a turn-based combat here.
All according to plan.
To victory!
Stop shanking my dudes. Okay. First of all, Lindsay is going to inspire the party and then move forward. So I started blasting. There's a hit.
Strike as one.
It's good that the cleric is getting some hits in with her crossbow. Charge Valerie in, get her into combat. Ooh, nice hit. They're trying to shank each other. Oh, what was that? What was just cast? Channel negative energy, damage living. Okay, that's not good. We gotta take out that priest. Okay. First off, let's get her enraged. Accidentally turning off my thing there. Okay, now she's enraged. Now she's gonna charge in. And she missed. Okay. Stop turning it off. Arcane weapon. And then charge in right at the priest.
Left yourself open.
Oh, crit. Nice. That was 22. Awesome. It was reduced? That would have been more. Magic missile. All right. Okay, let's do ear-splitting scream. Ear-piercing scream. I think they saved against it. Yeah. They took two damage. Try to get that priest out of the way. He's gonna hurt us all. Yeah, he's dead now. Shoot that feared might. And I missed. There's a kill.
Tear them apart!
You made who worship you?
This will hurt.
God. Magic missile. I need on my PC version, I need to replace the sound file for Magic Missile being cast to have that one video of the guy going, Magic Missile. Oh, you made them both worship you? Interesting.
Any last wishes?
Oh, they took no damage from that? Nice, there's another kill.
We shall overcome.
Let's move.
Nice. Alright, that's combat under our belt.
No one stands in my way.
There's another mobility check. Yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm really liking the turn-based system. It makes it a lot better for me, who really could not manage other party members in the past. Honestly, I couldn't manage my own character's abilities in the past because it's just fast-paced, real-time. I couldn't do it, and I wanted to be like a mix of melee and spell casting, which made it even worse for me.
Anything else?
We will prevail.
Uh-oh. Ow.
Stay behind me.
All this waiting bores me.
And we didn't get it.
Await.
I will guide us.
And so they walked on.
That must be the radishes. We're gonna hold off because we got stuff to do here.
Forwards.
Let's move already.
I was successful in my search.
No one stands in my way.
Godspeed.
Body of a woman fouled beyond recognition. Her fingers still clench a torn leather leash. Lab journal. Went into the woods, found many roots, pine cones, flowers, and a dead squirrel. Scant little I can make of that. I must consider where I might gather rare ingredients for my experiments. Some damnable raccoons got into the hut while I was exploring the woods, broke all the glassware. The only things left are 10 flat-bottom glass tubes, 5 round-bottom flasks, a couple of porcelain mortars, 3 pestles, and the precious spiral. A good thing all the pots are still there. So many good chemicals wasted. Shame. Need to lock everything up in the closet. Tried to finish the experiment today, the one I started at the old lab. Used the lead powder from the master's box. At the crystallization stage, the liquid foam changed color and formed a deposit. Another unsuccessful experiment, and I've all but exhausted my supply of essential materials. Caught a raccoon with a snare trap. Didn't get the bastard to the hut in time. Perhaps I should ask the hunters for help in catching experimental subjects. But I must save money, and besides, I see how those bumpkins scowl at me, as if I've grown horns. Third attempt at the crystallization experiment. Broke the last round bottom flask. I recall my tutor calling me ham-handed and making me clean up. Perhaps he was right, but he did teach me much, despite everything. But why didn't he wish me to develop my abilities? Didn't he want me to learn anything beyond the basic potion recipes? Kept saying I wasn't ready, but in truth he feared the student surpassing the teacher, and for good reason. I shall prove this process works. I'll prove it to everyone. Today, an old lady came from the nearby village, asking me to make her goats yield more milk. I had to help. I'm in desperate need of money. Oh, why must I spend my time so? Boring, boring, boring. Several pages remain empty, then the writings continue. Observation day 1. I finally got a chance I can't miss. I found a dying elf in the woods. She was barely breathing, and ants were swarming all over her. Who is she? What happened to her? It matters not. This is the opportunity I've been waiting for. With great effort, I managed to drag her to the hut, remove her clothes, and hide her behind the bags in the corner. Enough wasting my talents on trifles. It's time for action. Use the largest glass tube from the master's box, the one with the warning. In case of contact with skin, wash off immediately. Ha! The doddering parrot of all the standard warnings. Parrot? I spread it evenly over her body and began my observations. Observation day 3. The subject has survived. Had to tie her up and gag her. The moaning could attract unwanted attention. Her skin is changing, but it's hard to determine the precise character of these changes. The early stages of festering, perhaps? The treated areas do smell faintly. Observation day 5. The changes continue, faster and faster. The epidermis has festered away. The joints are grown, swollen, tough and calloused, and the subject has a fever. Observation day 9. Over the past few days, the subject's legs have become covered with mildew and moss. Her fingers and toes grow long and crooked, as though she would grow into the ground. I shall move the subject outside. The experiment now demands sunlight. Observation day 3. The body's changes are so significant it's impossible to recall the creature's original appearance from the way it looks now. A seething growth covers the whole body's surface. Every day I find new kinds of moss, mildew, grass, and other plants. The subject attempts to move, had to immobilize her. I try to make contact, but she utters inarticulate sounds, alike to howling. Might intelligence be restored at a further stage of regeneration? Observation day 18. The subject has grown larger, several times. She is now strangely quiet these last few days. I'm beginning to worry. In the end, I see I've become attached to her. She will make me famous. Observation day 25. My living experiment shows all signs of obedience. She is much like a little tree, a magnificent walking tree. She is already 8 feet tall, and the child keeps growing. I wish to give her space, more fresh air and sunlight. I suspect we shall need some fertilizer. For now, I only walk her around the woods on a leash. This is the greatest achievement of my career. Soon we'll be ready for a journey to Absalom, and there will present my masterpiece. I must think of a name for my girl. And the woman's dead here.
I'm losing my temper.
You can count on me.
Still clenching a torn leather leash. So was she killed? Killed by this thing?
I won't be halted.
Well, it's not hostile. Yeah, I couldn't do neutral. I mean, I think I could have picked a neutral thing, but one of the stances was blocked because I'm lawful evil.
Remain vigilant.
Well, that thing is not hostile at all to me. So I'm not going to bother it. At least right now. Answer mites over here.
We've downed better ones.
There's a kill.
Attack!
Yeah, it makes sense you would have that option. Yeah, because I'm a lawful evil. God, mites are creepy. Miss. Another one down.
Strike as one.
Let us strike as one.
Let's try this one.
This is where I step in.
Another one down.
Bring it!
All this waiting bores me. Battles await.
Let us press on.
No one stands in my way.
Alright guys, I think it's all I got time for today. We got some progress in. We started, I guess, a civil war in the old Sycamore area between the kobolds and the mites. Mainly because Tartusio is pretending to be a kobold. And honestly, I side with the kobolds because I like them more than mites, because mites are just creepy as hell. And I'd rather have kobolds around. But we're going to resume this sometime soon in the next day or so. And we're going to hopefully delve into the old Sycamore Depths dungeons and see what we can get out of it. But as always, thank you for watching, guys. Hope to see you again in the next stream. We will see where Emperor Haterius and his band of angry people go next. See you guys in the next one.